Live.
Due to some violent content, parental discretion is advised.
Oh, I don't know what this thing is. I think it's a strip show, dance show.
Work there, dude.
Welcome to
DeaconLive.
DeaconLive.
Live.
Well,
Welcome back, guys, on today's show. This gives you a whole new meaning to the Pineapple Express, and are you ready for a late second? And General Neutral takes over our prayers, and Walmart is 100% full self-checkout starting here in the next few days. All this and much more will be discussed here on DeaconLive. How are you? How are things? How are things going? Are you doing okay? Did you make it through New Year's? Did you drink too much? Did you indulge too much? That's the main question. Did you indulge too much? Because if you did, well, you're the only one to blame for that. And let's see. I got so much going on here today. And the reason why I say I got so much going on today is, guess what? Today is my birthday. That's right. It's my birthday. Thank you. I appreciate all the gifts and cards and comments on the Facebook page and all the big love and support that everyone has shown me here on my birthday. I'm not going to get into my age or anything like that because there's this illusion of people talking on the microphone. You're like going, God, you sound like you're 12 years old, or you sound like you're an old man. You sound like, whatever. So I won't give my age out. You can basically tell about topics and my opinions on stuff. Hopefully won't discretion as far as what my age is. But for the most part, you guys should, listeners of the show, and they've been listening for a very long time. We appreciate you. So I think I gave my age out a couple times. So anyway, so I'm not going to get my age. Men are more prone to, I'm 40, I'm 50, I'm 60, I'm 75, 20, I'm 22, man, I'm 24. So I'm somewhere in between those, 24 and 70. So there you go. Now, birthday, what do you do for your birthday? Well, me, mostly, I don't do anything. I think this chair is going. This chair's starting to squeak. Time for a new chair. There's a good birthday present for me. So, growing up as an only child, shocker, everyone's shocker, everyone has birthday parties, and I would go to birthday parties all the time. For some reason, my mom made me go to this one girl's birthday party all the time just because I knew her in, daycare, and we kind of grew up kind of in the same neighborhood, in the same family, but I was not cool enough for her friends, so I was a little outcast in the corner. I remember one year, you have to go to Tina's birthday party this year, and she was having a big pool party, and this was the pool party. This was the pool party where you're elementary school going into junior high. Everyone's giggling, and, oh my God, look at you, and she's so hot, and he's so fresh, and he's a fox, and whatever. Kids, they're coming into themselves easy. But, I didn't know what to get Tina for her, whatever. What age is that? 12, 13, going into junior high? And I just, watching cartoons as a kid, I was like, all I would see is these cartoons for girls, or commercials for girls. So I went to the store, and my mom was like, well, what do you want to get little Tina? And I said, I want to get her this. And I got her, stickers were big, and I guess stickers never really go out of fashion. So stickers were big, but the puffy stickers. And I got her a whole sheet of stickers. That's kind of cool, right? But I got her Cabbage Patch Kids stickers, and I was so proud of myself. I picked the gift out. I thought this was so cool. Hey, it's on all the commercials. It's on all the TVs and stuff. I said, I'm going to get Tina Cabbage Patch Kids puffy stickers because I can't get her a Cabbage Patch Kid. They were like $50, I don't have a paper route or anything. So I got her the puffy, and I wrapped them up, and I was so proud, and you do your pool party and everyone's drinking Kool-Aid and all the sugary drinks and stuff. And then, all right, come on, everyone, dry off. And everyone's standing around inside the house in Florida in the middle of, April, and the AC's kicking and everyone's just sitting there freezing. There's a damn AC down. And so she gets to my present, and literally, this is verbatim of what happened. Who's this from, Tina? This is from Travis. Okay. Opens it up. She literally goes, and it was a sheet, like almost like a letter, 8.5 by 11 cardboard with a whole bunch of puffy Cabbage Patch stickers on it. Them dancing or frolicking, stickers. She looks at it and goes, Cabbage Patch Kids? How old do you think I am? I'm like, oh, I'll be in the back. Mom, come pick me up. I don't want to. I rode my bike there. It was a neighborhood thing. So I left. I was like, oh, God, I ruined it. That was it. And never went to another birthday party ever again. That was it. Ruined everything. Now, myself, there's the chair. Yeah, we're going to have to do something with this guy. Now, myself, my mom would throw, well, hold on a second. Let me backtrack as far as my birthday parties. So my birthday parties was a pain in the ass. Not for me. Not for me. It was my birthday. But here's the thing. The way my family celebrates anything, okay? And this is my mom's side of the family. Anytime something happens, we all have to collectively get together, have a meal, have presents, have cake, have coffee, discuss current events, and then go home, okay? Whether you're a kid or whether you're an adult, this is what we did all the time. Dress up nice, we're going to your Aunt Shirley's birthday party. Dress up nice, we're going to your cousin Terry's birthday party. Dress up nice, we're going to your cousin's whatever party. Dress up, behave, be nice. You can't bring your Legos, you can't bring your Star Wars figures. No, don't put on your good shoes, your church clothes. Church clothes. So we would do this. Now, here's the thing. It's a big spread. It's a big ordeal. We have like hors d'oeuvres before we even sit down to eat. Someone would go around whoever house was catering the party would go around with hors d'oeuvres and drinks and all this stuff. And then we would sit down and have, a light appetizer with our meal and then a full on-course meal. And then we'd sit down and open presents and discuss today's activities. And then we'd have coffee and cake and, all that stuff. It was a big event, no matter who you were. Now, of course, I'm the youngest one and on my mom's side of the family. Youngest child, I guess. Because there's kids in the family, but they're older. Like 10 years different than me. So I was the young one. I was the baby in the crowd. So it starts with Father's Day. Father's Day it starts with my dad's birthday. My dad's birthday kicks off the party season, okay? So my dad's birthday is June 10th. That starts the season. That starts the dinner, entree, hors d'oeuvre season. Then you get into Father's Day. Then we have a big, dinner for everyone for Father's Day on my mom's side of the family. Then we get into my uncle's birthday, which is my mom's sister's husband. Have a birthday party for him. And then we get into my cousin's got a birthday party somewhere in July. I don't know. And then it's my uncle's birthday party on my mom's side. And then again, big laid out dinner, big everything. Everyone cooks everything big from scratch, everything. Then you get into, October is another cousin's of mine's birthday. And then you get into September, and there's 2 more birthdays in there on my mom's side, and then we get into then here we go. Now we're halfway through October, going into November. My mom's the first week of November. Got to have a big spread for Mama, Mama Dukes. Big spread for Mama Dukes. Everyone comes over. I'm talking like 15, 20 people. Big spread. Everyone's got their parasols and walking around, and then of course you ramp up into New Year's. You ramp up into Thanksgiving. You got Thanksgiving and big spread, and everyone does a big spread, and everyone's family comes over, and now you got double the people because you got both sides of the family there. And then you get into December, and I think one of my cousins, distant cousins, still got to celebrate them. Distant cousin has a birthday somewhere in December, and then you start ramping. All right, you got a couple weeks off. You got to ramp up into Christmas. You get into Christmas, bam, you're Christmas, full on. Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, you're doing 3 dinners between 4 families. You're doing all that stuff. Then, of course, after Christmas, someone's got to have one more birthday. Sure, my Aunt Shirley, she's one more birthday before the end of the year, right? December 30th, bam, big spread, mom's side of the family, 15, 20 people, big spread, dinner, hors d'oeuvres, violins, concertos are playing. And then we get New Year's, woo, all right, celebration, yes, we made it through the year. And then 1 week later, it's my birthday. And by the time you get to my birthday, it's the end of the quote-unquote dinner birthday season. Nobody wants to do anything. Nobody wants to gather around. I mean, you could see they're still hungover from New Year's Eve. If you see pictures of my family like gathered around the table, they're literally like, last one, this is it. And then we're clear till June again. So my birthday was always a pain in the ass. My birthday was always it's the last one, the sigh of relief, the end of the term. Oh, we made it from June to January. We made it from Papa Duke's commercial, Papa Duke's birthday through the whole entire family. And now we're celebrating the last, which technically is the first birthday of the year, the last birthday of this season, which is my birthday. So I was never really allowed to have like kids over, friends over. I know, what was me? But I was raised in a house where you weren't allowed to come inside, Every time someone would knock on the door, for whatever reason, I would literally open the door, squeeze through the opening, and then shut the door behind me. Don't let them in. Don't let them kids in here. Don't let them in. My mom. Don't let them kids in there. Okay, I'm going out. Or they'd knock on the door. I'm like, I'll be out in a second. And then they'd leave the porch, and then I'd open the door and come out. I don't know why. The house was never messy. The house was never, like, unkept. We had nice furniture. We had nice stuff. We had to. We had big soiree parties. We had to have all this stuff. It was not that it was a museum, but it was just so it got to the point where I started seeing this. Mom, can I have Martin over for my birthday? No. Why? I don't know Martin. What do you mean you don't know Martin? Like he's wanted in 4 states. Mom, I'm 10 years old. Can I have Michael over? No. Why? These are the answers. Okay, Michael can come over, but he can't stay for dessert, or he can only come over for dessert. That was the thing. No dinner. We didn't have enough plates. We didn't have enough room at the table for Michael to come over. So, and then we tried the pool party. We tried the pool party one time, and it was me, Michael, and I think the dog. I think that was it. It was just me and him, and this is boring. Yay, all right. Marco, Polo, oh, you caught me. So I got to the point where I was like, you know what? 13, 14, 15, it's rolling around 16. You know what? I'm getting into high school. It's not worth it. Not worth it. I see the pain. And for whatever reason, no lie, my mom wore herself out every year, and I never noticed it. Of course, you're a little kid. You only think of yourself until you get to a certain age. And then my mom, she was always sick. I've got a cold. I can't do anything for you. Oh, I can barely put the standing rib roast on the rack and the twice baked volcano potatoes with the lemon onion wahoo frop drinks and stuff. We can't. I can. Deacon, I can barely get all that for you. I can barely get anything. Okay, no guests this year. All right, so that was the thing. My mom was always sick with a cold or flu cold or whatever. She and it was exhausting. So I was like, you know what? Forget it. So then when I got older, what do you want to do for your birthday? Nothing. Why? Because it seems like a pain in the ass to you guys. We're not doing anything. So never really celebrated my birthday growing up, and then I moved out, and of course it became a drinking day. You're in college, and I had my own place at the time, and went out and celebrated my birthday on my own, and that was it. But yeah. Now my wife, she makes sure, she's heard the story a million times, and she's like, that's so wrong, because she was raised in a house full of kids, full of, I don't want to say love and affection, but love and affection where everyone celebrated everyone's birthday and everyone got along and everyone had a great time, and there was always kids and pool parties and slides and bouncy houses and stuff. I didn't know what a bounce house was until I went to like a theme park or something. What's that? It's a bounce house. What are you, weird? Yeah, a little bit. I want to go home. All right. When we come back, we're going to dive into the show a little bit more, and we'll talk a little bit more because it's my birthday. I'm going to talk about my birthday a little bit more. You're listening to Deacon Live right here on Prophet Radio. I'll be right back. Welcome back to Deacon Live. Make sure you follow us on all our social contacts. And I was talking to my wife over the break there, is how, do I need to rebrand myself? Everyone, new year, new me, new everything. And she said, you know what? You've got so much social media context out there. I don't think you promote it enough. So I'm going to make a more conscious effort to promote like the YouTube page. And the YouTube page is basically, we have a video that goes on here in the studio. I've got 3 different cameras set up. You can see my computer monitor. And when I say my computer monitor, when I talk about stories in real time, boom, they're right on your screen as I'm talking about them. And so we want you to go there and subscribe. And the way you find all our social media contacts is to go to Prophet Radio, PROPHET Radio. Click on the social contact section. And when you do that, actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on it right now. If you're watching this on the video, let me switch screens here so you guys can see what's going on. What's going on? So here's the Prophet Radio website. And then you click on, you can see home. This is where we play all the music, live streaming music, the best internet alternative station out there. Great company to work for. You can see the DeaconLive podcast. Is This Going Somewhere podcast? And right here, social contacts. And you can see there's a Facebook, click on that, YouTube, iHeartMedia. You can email me at any time. There's Google Play, Stitcher, Instagram, iTunes, Spotify, Twitter, TuneIns, Shoutcast, all the different podcast connections and Facebook connections and YouTube connections. So make sure you go there. And while you're there, you can fill out a little form there. It says free swag, and we'll send you some free stuff here from the studio. So make sure you guys do that as well. And I'll try to be better about promoting that as well. Unless I win that friggin', what's the lottery at right now? The Powerball, $447 million. $447 million. Who needs that kind of money? What do you do with that kind of money? I was watching a comedian the other day. She was talking about, what do billionaires do with all their money? They go to space. They just shoot up and go to space. Hey, I'm going to space. Elon Musk. I'm just going to space. I'm going to launch a rocket in the air and do donuts in the stratosphere. She's like, if I had that kind of money, I just want the gold ceiling like in Master P's crib episodes. That's all I want. I wasn't thinking about space. Space wasn't allowed. We're not allowed to go to space. You got to check out with someone. You got to check with NASA. Hey, do you mind if I go out there and float around? No. Elon Musk just kind of tipped his rocket back, jumped in it, and shot himself in not him, but shot rockets into space. Didn't ask anyone. Didn't clear it with. Oh, I'm sure he had to clear it with someone, but just did it on his own. He had so much money. So if I had $500 million, I always said I'd just buy an island. But then I got to thinking, I kind of live on an island here. You get this big old ranch. We have 20 some odd acres here with animals, horses, cattle, dogs, chickens, all that stuff. And it's the season where everything is wet this year. The horses, the fields are 2-3 inches of mud. If you see me swatting a little fly around here. And everything gets a little soaked and everything gets a little weak, and post bend and break, and it's a lot of repairs and fixing. So I retract I would buy an island. I would buy an island if someone would take care of it for me. I don't want to take care of an island. But you can buy an island out there for $34 million, I think. Didn't Johnny Depp buy an island or something? Someone bought an island. Here's that chair. So it is my birthday. I won't discuss my age. Hopefully you guys, I'll leave the mystery up to you. You're welcome to guess at any time. And if you'd like to guess, go to prophetradio.com, click on the Be Heard section. And you can wish me a happy birthday, even belated. And what the Be Heard section is, if you click on the little blue bar, opens up a microphone, you can talk directly into your tablet device or whatever you're listening to us up at. And comes right to our inbox, and we'll play it on the very next podcast. Kind of like the New Year's... not resolutions, the New Year's predictions we did last month. Same thing, same program. Now, the Earth itself is, it's spinning around and doing the stuff that the Earth does, and we're launching rockets left and right. We're trying to go, land on the moon and go to Mars? And everyone is familiar with leap year, right? The Earth, it takes the Earth, 365 point, that's math, 0.25 days to spin around the sun. And so every 4 years, we have to add an extra day onto the end of the year. That's how you get the leap year. Well, studies have shown that if 2020 felt like a drag, you'd be surprised to discover it actually went by faster than you thought. And this year has been even speedier coming up. The Earth has been spinning unusually quickly lately. As of July 7th or 19th, saw the shortest day since the records have begun, or them collecting records. The planet completed its rotation in 1.4602 milliseconds less than the 86,400 seconds it normally takes to spin. I'm talking the actual Earth spinning, like day and night, day and night, day and night, that type stuff. The previous shortest day was in 2005 and was actually beaten 28 times this year, and 2021 is on track to be the most speediest year ever, with the average day passing 0.5 milliseconds faster than usual. Now you say, okay, 0.5 milliseconds, what does that mean? Well, you ever done like a Google search, and the Google search says, it took 0.795 whatever to find whatever you were looking for, and it found whatever, things like that. Now that's not much. No, it's not much, but here's the thing. With that 0.5 millisecond that we're gaining, hold on, backtrack. Hold on. The changes to the length of the standard day were only discovered after highly accurate atomic clocks were developed in 1960. Now, atomic clocks are basically, the whole world runs on atomic clocks. When I say atomic clocks, for example, you ever seen, a clock? You got the hours, you got the minutes, you got the seconds, and then you got that extra bonus numbers that go by so fast you can't even see them. They're spinning so fast or moving so fast. It looks like 2929292929, but it's spinning so fast. Well, there's numbers in between those, and what they've done is they've synced all the clocks, which is called the atomic clock, around the whole entire planet. So even if the time is different between time zones and stuff, at least I can if I said I'm going to touch this piece of paper at hour 1, minute 2, second 30, millisecond 0.25. Boom, I'm going to touch this paper. Someone on the other side of the planet can touch a paper at the same exact time. Now, what that means is the Earth's average rotation speed has consistently decreased and timekeepers have been forced to add 27 leap seconds to the atomic clock since 1970. And this keeps the clocks in sync with the slowing of the planet. Now, the last one was added on New Year's Eve on 2016, when all the clocks around the world paused for 1 second to allow the Earth's rotation to catch up. Now, that might not seem like a big deal, but you have to understand, here in radio business, in radio land, and even TV land, there's a code, there's a signal to allow the computers to know when to fire everything off to go up. You ever heard them say, "Oh, I'm up against a hard break"? Because that hard break is based on that atomic clock. That atomic clock is going to fire off whatever's designed to fire off, commercial or whatever like that, on that time. So they're like, I gotta go. Now, they actually put a third, bleep on you'll hear it on the AM stations. They put an extra blip when they inserted the 1 a.m. bulletin for, all the radio clocks. I know I'm digressing here. But the main thing that everyone needs to worry about is when the leap second was added in 2012, Mozilla, Reddit, Foursquare, Yelp, LinkedIn, and stumbled upon all these other different websites. Even the Linux systems crashed because they didn't sync up their time with the new adding of the new second. So what's going to happen is the World Radio Communication Conference will decide the fate of the leap second that's going to happen in 2023. the speed of the Earth's rotation varies consistently because it's part of a complex motion of the molten core. And if you guys don't know how the Earth moves around, I'm not going to sit here and explain it to you. But it also affects the way the satellites move and the way the satellites are in the air. So be careful out there. We're going to start adding leap seconds. So if you hear that word out there, don't be shocked or alarmed. It's just that the Earth is spinning a little bit faster. We're going to start taking away leap seconds. We're going to start taking away time at the end of the year or end of each day. And by the end of the year, maybe we'll have half a second to blink or something like that, and then the world will be okay. All right, when we come back, we'll talk more about my birthday and all the other stuff that's going on here on Deacon Live. Stick around. I'll be right back. Welcome back to Deacon Live. Oop. We going? Oh, okay. I didn't see anything moving. I was like, what? Welcome back to Deacon Live. Make sure you follow us on all our social networks, and that involves YouTube, Twitter, our Facebook accounts up there as well. Make sure you like us, share us, and do all the stuff that links us to you and you to us. We would really appreciate it, and I'm told to do that a little bit. My wife says, you need to push that a little bit more. People want to see you. No, they don't want to see me. They know what I look like, or do they? I don't know. You know, sometimes you always want to see what the guy looks like behind the microphone. Now I got, nice shirt on today. I got shaved and my hair cut and stuff. It's a birthday. It's my birthday. I'm allowed to do a lot of stuff. And you heard my mom there. Just recently, she called me. Now, she always calls me, here we go, stories from the trauma center. She used to call me when I moved out of the house. She used to call me every day or every birthday at 1:25 p.m. And she would do the whole story. I don't know if you've seen the, I think it was City Slickers, where Billy Crystal gets the call from his mom every morning, and she says the same thing every year. Well, my mom would call me on my birthday at 1:25 because that's when I was born, and she's like, and I was walking the hallways and walking around the hallways the whole time and waiting for you to come out, and they send me home, and then I go back the next 2 or 3 days later and all that stuff, and finally you were born at 1:25 p.m. in the afternoon. So I don't know if you knew, like if your mom ever told you what time you were born, the actual time you were born. I was talking to Dan, and I do a show with Dan, IT Dan, in between the Deacon Live broadcast, and the in-between shows are called Is This Going Somewhere? And you can find those on the Prophet Radio website as well. And Dan says the two shortest days of your life is the day that you're born and the day that you die. And I go, well, Dan, thanks a lot. I know that's true, but thanks for the the visual on that. It's kind of depressing and weird. And then he goes, happy birthday. And I'm like, all right, well, there you go. Backhanded slap on that. But I did. My wife, for Christmas, got me the weighted blanket. And I figured it out. I figured out how to use the weighted blanket. And I recommend it because if you're not familiar with what a weighted blanket is, it's supposed to help you with anxiety or make you feel like you're being hugged and loved. Nobody loves me. Makes you feel like you're being swaddled. I was never swaddled as a kid. That term didn't exist until I think the late 90s, and it came out of San Francisco, that area somewhere, or Seattle, one of those regions. But I can appreciate that feeling. So I figured out how the weighted blanket works. I can't use it on my chest. I got a 50 by 61, so I just use it on my legs, and it keeps my legs down. Restless leg syndrome. Do you feel like gambling? No. So I use it on the lower half of my body, and I tell you what, it works. It works. It took me about a week to get used to it, but my wife even said last night, she's like, every morning, how did you sleep? How did you sleep? I slept good. And I said, babe, I don't think I turned over once or twice the whole entire time. She's like, yeah, you barely moved in the bed. Now we've got a real nice mattress and stuff, thanks to the people from the Purple Mattress Company, big sponsors of the show. We love them as well. But we've got a purple mattress, and it works great. It works very well for us. And I barely feel her move, and she barely feels me move. Sorry, I got to continue the situation, the sentence. Now, something that's moving a lot of people right now is if you're not aware of what's happening out there, there's a lot of memes and stuff going around about gender neutralization of, hold on. Okay. So, Nancy Pelosi has taken the fun and the stink out of everything. Jesus Christ. We have to be neutral. Complete. You know what? Then don't change your name to something else, Nancy. Change it to blue. Change it to green. Change it to a color. Change it to a symbol. Why do we need names anymore? Why do we even bother calling each other person, human, man, woman, child, whatever? Just start calling us digits. Just start putting numbers on us. I mean, that's essentially what everything's boiling down. Everyone gets offended. Everyone needs to be coddled. Everyone needs to be, except for me on my birthday. You need to coddle me on my birthday. But everyone's getting all, we can't, and it's no wonder we've got the Proud Boys standing up in Washington, D.C. and fighting and stuff, because this is all, it's crazy. It's crazy. I don't want to offend anyone. I don't want to make anyone feel uncomfortable. Fuck it. That's what this company and country, if you want to put it all in the same sentence, that's how we got to be where we are. We were uncomfortable with what was going on, where we were living at over there in Europe, and guess what we did? Said, fuck it, we're out of here, we're moving. Well, unfortunately, there's no land left anywhere unless we want to go to Antarctica, but who wants to live in the goddamn cold? So this happened, and a little background story. So Congress, the House, they take a little Christmas break. Why? If we're being so sensitive, they just took the end of the year break. And now they're coming back in session. And it is customary for someone locally, respectively, to come in and bless the new session. So they brought in this gentleman here, Reverend Emmanuel Cleaver. He is, hold on, let's get his whole full stats here. This is Methodist pastor and Missouri State Representative Emmanuel Cleaver delivered the opening prayer for the 117th National Congressional opening and ended his address with a very baffling closing statement. So, if you're not familiar with what happened, this is the actual event that happened that's causing everyone to be in more of an uproar because it's just idiocy. Let me switch screens here so everyone can see what's going on. And you can see this video too. If you go to prophetradio.com and click on click on DeaconLive, for every podcast that we do has a matching video. And make sure you subscribe and share us over there as well. So here you go. All right, hold on. I got to click this on so everyone can hear it and enjoy it. There we go.
Pursuant to the 20th Amendment to the Constitution of the United States, for the meeting of the 117th Congress of the United States, the House will come to order.
There you go.
The prayer will be offered by Reverend Emmanuel Cleaver, St. James United Methodist Church, Kansas City, Missouri.
Go Methodist. So he walks up there and he's, how you doing? 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 He steps up. Everyone's got a mask on.
Eternal God, noiselessly, we bow before your throne of grace as we leave behind the politically and socially clamorous year of 2020. We gather now in this consequential chamber to inaugurate another chapter in our roller coaster representative government. The members of this august body acknowledge your sacred supremacy and, therefore, confess that without your favor and forbearance, we enter this new year relying dangerously on our own fallible nature.
All right, so far so good. He's doing well. And then he goes on for another minute and a half or two, and then, he says, okay, we'll do this, and everyone's going to be, God bless this. And this is how he wraps up his statement.
Brahma and God known by many names, by many different faiths. Amen and a woman.
All right, so let me backtrack a little bit. So he's wrapping it up. He's saying, everyone does their God and everyone bless Jesus and all that stuff. So here you go.
Selfishness, perverted by prejudice and inveigled by ideology. Now may the God who created the world and everything in it bless us and keep us. May the Lord make his face to shine upon us and be gracious unto us. May the Lord lift up the light of his countenance upon us and give us peace. Peace in our families, peace across this land, and dare I ask, O Lord, peace even in this chamber, now and evermore. We ask it in the name of the monotheistic God, Brahma, and God known by many names, by many different faiths. A man and a woman.
So normally, when you pray, at the end, you say, Amen. 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 Peace be with you, whatever, at the end. So he said a man and then said a woman. I don't think how... I don't want to say you get it out of a Cracker Jack box. Where did he get his holy representative, his pastorism? I mean, he is United Methodist. I mean, you can send away for those. I mean, they do it online. But I mean, they said that he used the term a woman along with amen. Now, amen doesn't mean a man. It means amen, which means in some religions, it's a Hebrew, and it traveled through Greek and into Latin, which means truth or certainty, or it is so or so it shall be, is what amen means. He took it as a man and a woman. And this is in response This is in response to Nancy Pelosi's remarks about saying that everyone will be greeted or distinguished in a gender-neutral term. So as members of Congress or members of Congress or a certain they're leaving out. Madam from Missouri takes the board or takes the whatever. She's eliminating all gender. And so he took it upon himself to go, okay, I guess, I don't know what I'm doing here. I'm a preacher and stuff. I know it says amen. Should I say a woman? Should I say a child? Should I say something? No, he says amen and a woman. Instead of just saying amen. Amen. Hey, you know what? Party on. Let's go. Launch the rockets. Let's get this country back in shape. No, he says this crap, and I say crap. Fucking chair. He says this thing, and then now he stirred up everything else. How far are we going? Everything is man and woman. This is literally what's happening. What's happening to our country because of this. And I said, DeaconLive is never going to be a political show. It's never going to be a governmental show, a political show, religious show, anything like that. There's plenty of that on the in-between shows over at Is This Going Somewhere with a good friend of mine named IT Dan. If you want that stuff, you can go over there and listen to those. And it's me arguing with him most of the time. But I mean, this is the state of the union, and this has taken over everything. That, Dr. Dre had an aneurysm, but other than that, this is what's filling up our news feed. COVID, Dr. Dre's aneurysm, and a man and a woman. And I just throw my hands up in the air and go, all right, what's next? What's next? We just started the year off. And we had this knucklehead doesn't know the difference. I would take his pastor card away. I would literally take his pastor card away because, one, he should say, I'm a pastor and all men and all women are created equal in the face of God. Okay, that's a good start. So if some knucklehead wants to go, why'd you say amen? Does that mean men are more superior? No, everyone's equal in front of the face of God. Next question. And then that would have been it. Now he said a man and a woman. Now everyone's like going, well, what do you mean by a man and a woman? Couldn't you just say a senator, a representative, instead of amen, instead of amen, saying and a representative? And go on, or just whatever. And God be with you too. All right, when we come back, we'll get a little bit more light and fluffy here. Stick around. You're listening to Deacon Live right here on Prophet Radio. I'll be right back. Welcome back to Deacon Live. Make sure you follow us on all our social contacts. Don't forget, for every podcast that we do, we have a matching video live from the studio. We call it Under the Tent. It's part of the YouTube channel. And make sure you go over there, subscribe to us, like us. And, you know, we don't send you a bunch of garbage. I got too much other shit going on. Just subscribe, click like, and then we do a show every week, and there's a matching video for that as well. Make sure you go over there and like it. And I guess, you know, if you got nothing to do on Netflix, you want to just pop up YouTube and watch a episode of Deacon Live, you can see all the stuff that goes on, not really behind the scenes, but what we're talking about here in real time, my computer screen and all the articles and all the videos that we play here. So make sure you go over there and like us on our social networks and find them on Prophet Radio, PROPHET radio.com. Now it's my birthday, someone said. And my wife makes she always, you know, what do you want for dinner? What do you want for your birthday and stuff? And we used to do a big trip. We used to do a big vacation trip. We planned somewhere to go for a week, and I would include my best friend, who was my best man. Unfortunately, he passed away this past year, and we haven't done a big trip in a while with him, only because, you know, he lived in Florida and we lived here in North Carolina. We really haven't planned anything. He came up a couple times before he passed away, and unfortunately he passed away this year. So this is kind of like the first year we really haven't done anything for my birthday, as far as like vacation wise, and of course the pandemic, you know, kind of puts dampers on a lot of things. But so my wife's like, I'm gonna make you dinner. I'm gonna make all this stuff. What do you want? Now, back when I was growing up, I told you the whole entire family would have the, you know, standing rib roast and, you know, double some kind of mashed potatoes, volcano potatoes, and all the fancy stuff and all. And my mom, the biggest thing that I thought I had total control over was, what kind of cake do you want? What kind of cake do you want? I always wanted the cake from like Publix. If you guys aren't familiar with Publix a very well-known chain of of grocery stores here in the Southeast. And you would go to the bakery and pick out the little, you know, the square sheet cake, you know, and I picked the one with all the toys on it. That's what I wanted. Mom. I want that one. And then she would get that for me. And then make a totally different other cake for the rest of the family, because they're like, we can't eat this kid cake. You know, it's just white fluff with the sugar frosting. I like the sugar frosting. Don't get me the goddamn whipped cream frosting. I will throw that thing against the wall. But the buttercream and the sugar cream frosting, I love it. I'll eat it all day long. But she would make this separate cake for the rest of the family, and it would always be some kind of extravagant cake. It'd be like a hummingbird double dipped chocolate vanilla swirl with, you know, pineapples and pecans. And I'm like, that's not carrot cake. That's not cake. That's baked vegetables. And then she would make, and the family, oh my God, did you make this from scratch? This is awesome. I need to get your recipe. And, you know, all these different cakes. I'm a child. What does a child want? Vanilla, chocolate, sugar. That's all I want. That's all I wanted. No, you can't have that. We're going to have a double glazed tiramisu Velotropolis with a brandy syrup or something. I don't know, some bullshit. It was always fancy. And as you're a kid, you're like, no. What kind of ice cream do you have? Vanilla. Mixed vanilla with like chocolate? Nope, just plain vanilla bean. So it sucked. It sucked. And my mom would make these extravagant, you know, meals. And I got to the point where my mom would go, okay, you know, what do you want for your birthday dinner? And I would say, because I love this, country steak, Mom. I just want country steak, mashed potatoes, green peas, and for cake, I just want chocolate cake with cream cheese frosting. That's all I want. Okay. Now, you know that your aunt and your uncle and your cousin who's a CEO of Darden Restaurants, and your other who's an engineer who flies planes and designs buildings and stuff, and your aunt and Martin Marietta and designs rockets for the government and all these other, they're coming over for your birthday. I know that. I know that. They might not like this. Don't get 10 years old. I don't give a shit. Oh, they might not. No, I'll make something special for you another night. We'll have this. I'm like, all right. So, I mean, at that point, I was like, all right, that's my birthday. That's the way my birthday is going to be. So, till this day, my wife goes, what do you want for your birthday cake? Well, it's not for your birthday cake. It's, do you want your birthday cake? From since we started dating and stuff, do you want your birthday cake? Hell yeah. And she makes it even twice as better as my mom. So take that. She makes a devil's food chocolate and puts like a packet of like pudding mix in it to make it nice. Oh man. And double layers, cream cheese frosting, not homemade. When my mom made it, she made it with like homemade. And she's with the thing, and this is homemade cream cheese frosting, which is kind of a pain in the ass to do. I understand that. I would tell my wife, nope, right out of the can. That's what I want. I want, country fried steak. I'm sorry, not country fried steak. Country steak in the skillet with country gravy and green peas and mashed potatoes. That's all I want. Make my life simple. Make it easier. You can even make me Salisbury steak. I'd be happy with that. I got a thing of Salisbury steak in there now. Thinking about having that for my birthday dinner. But yeah, my mom would make all this crazy stuff. And, the dessert was always, pineapple this and a Wahoo Frop this, which is some kind of mixed drink where you take the zest of an orange. I'm 11. What's a zest of an orange? I know Zest bar soap. Is it the same thing? No, Deacon, you got to take this. My mom. All right, so there you go. But someone who's actually doing some creative shit with plants and vegetables and thinking outside of the box are researchers in Malaysia. Researchers in Malaysia have found out, and if you want to see this video and the article I'm talking about, let me switch screens so you guys can see it all in real time. Thought I squeaked it. Researchers in Malaysia have found a new way to turn the fibrous pineapple leaves into material sturdy enough to make drone frames. Professor Muhammad Tariq Ahmad Salan of Putra University told us that drones were built using this high-strength material, and the weight ratio has even gotten less than what we are today. It's cheaper and lighter. So here you go. If you're watching the video here, let me blow this up so you can see it. Don't be a commercial. Don't be a commercial. I've been waiting. Play.
It's not a bird. It's not a plane. It's a drone made partly from pineapple leaves. The design is part of a sustainability project at Malaysia's Putra University, led by Professor Muhammad Tariq Hamid Sultan.
This current project is to transform these agricultural waste into a potential aerospace application, which is a drone structure.
Make sure I got everything going here.
Tariq's team uses discarded pineapple leaves to create the skeletons of aerial drones.
The most important thing of this particular design is we are using agricultural waste, which is we are transforming the leaf of the pineapple fiber into a fiber, and that particular fiber, who has been seeing that this fiber can be used for aerospace application, basically in inventing a drone.
According to researchers, drones made from natural materials or biocomposites are tougher, lighter, cheaper and easier to dispose of. Tariq says the drones are currently able to fly up to about 1,000 meters high and stay in the air for about 20 minutes. The pineapple waste comes from farmers in the Hulu Langat district, who would usually discard or burn the pineapple leaves after harvest. That process can cause air pollution. But now, farmers like Irwan Ishmael can sell their agricultural waste to bolster their income.
Contoh, dalam 3 ekar tanah ini mungkin boleh menghasilkan 5 ataupun 10
So he said, for example, and this is the farmer talking, he's like, for example, I've got 3 acres of this land, maybe produce, 5 or 10 tons of pineapples, but now I can get more money because now I've got the pineapple leaves that we're processing and making almost like a cardboard type material that's, I'm sure they use like, some other polymers and stuff like that. But yeah, this gentleman here is creating pineapple leaves because normally they just burn them off, throw them away, probably put, turn the soil, rotate the crops, do all the stuff that farmers do with ashes. And now this guy is created or figured out a way to, and not just drones. Think of the possibilities just in space. Here we are trying to go to the moon and go to Mars. If we can use this material and it's lighter and more efficient and sturdier than I don't want to say plastic, but I mean, if it can replace plastic parts, by all means, let's do it. Let's jump on that board. Find out find out his IPO. And whatever the stock thing is, and buy stock in that guy. Throw all your money at that guy. Now, someone else has created, thinking outside the box, and anytime we can do that here in these times, like I said, we're not making any more land except for those people over there in Dubai where they actually created land for hotels and stuff. But that's another story. You guys are familiar with like wind speed and the big wind turbines and stuff. Well, here in Germany on a very busy highway, Germany has created its very own wind turbine using cars passing by at high rates of speed. Now, you can see this video here. If you go to DeaconLive and click on all the under the tent video on YouTube, and here you go. Look, watch this. So this is a wind turbine being used, and big buses are going by. So like the big travel lanes, and it's a tall cylinder. It looks like it's got like 3 little cups, maybe about 4 foot tall, big tubes, 4 foot tall that have got like a little rib cut out of them. And as the buses go by, you've seen it. You've stood on the side of the road. Cars go flying by, and you get this big whoosh of wind. Well, they're capturing that wind and using it to supply power to, I don't know where they're supplying the power to, but it's solar, or not solar, but they're using wind. What's the ping pong things that we used to, the barometer? The little thing with the barometer that spins around that tests wind speed? This is essentially what this is, and they're putting it on the highways over in Germany so they can capture the wind and make a little bit of power, sell it back to the company, or sell it back to the power units. Or the power company, power units. All right, there you go. All right, we come back. We'll wrap up the show and let you guys get back to what you got to do. You're listening to Deacon Live right here on Prophet Radio. I'll be right back. Welcome back to Deacon Live. Make sure you follow us on all our social contacts. And one thing you can also do is go over to Is This Going Somewhere? And that's our in-between shows. In between the Deacon Live broadcast that we do once a week. And the in-between shows is called Is This Going Somewhere? And Season 1 and Season 2 are up there. Season 3 is going to start here probably in the next couple weeks. And I do a side show with side show. There's a show, another podcast that I do with a good friend of mine. His name is IT Dan, and he gets all into the political stuff, the religion stuff, and everything that goes on in today's society and how it affects him. He's 60-something years old. He can't. I don't want to say he can't work. He has left his job, a career to make sure he stays home and doesn't infect his wife with the whole corona thing, and so I don't like that. Welcome back to Deacon Live. Make sure you follow us on all our social networks, and the way you do that is go to Prophet Radio, Prophet Radio. Click on it. Make sure you share. Make sure you like. There's a YouTube channel up there. There's a Facebook channel up there. Just subscribe and like and show us some love. Show us some love. And also, we have a show that we do in between the Deacon Live broadcasts, and that show is called Is This Going Somewhere? And these are darker conversations about political stuff, religion stuff, and everything that's going on in between all the things going on in today's society and how it's affecting IT Dan. And IT Dan is a good friend of mine, and we started this podcast. And these are his stories about what he's dealing through. So if you want to do that, show him some love as well. Now, we live out here. We're out in a beautiful little town just outside of Charlotte, North Carolina. A beautiful little town we like to call Marshville. And population, I think it's 2,300 people. And we are outside of any kind of delivery service, like fast food or anything like that. We can't order DoorDash. We can't order all the other, what's the door stopper, food dropper, all the things that people get food delivered, because we're out in the middle of nowhere. I mean, we are literally probably maybe 14 to 18 miles from a main road, and then from there you got to drive into a town to get a Burger King or a Bojangles here in the South. So we don't get home delivery too often. There is a small little pizza place that we order from. His name is Dave, and he doesn't do it out of his garage. He's got like a legit store, a brick and mortar store, and he has like the best New York style pizza. Of course, you know, in a room of three-eyed woman, the two-eyed woman looks good. But he's got great pizza. Don't get me wrong, he's got great pizza. But sometimes, I mean, with this whole people losing their job, and for example, like Dan had to step down from his career to stay at home. He was worried about the pandemic. He was working for a retail chain. Was there for 20 some odd years, had great credibility, and had to step down because he was worried about the coronavirus affecting him and his family and everything. So he's having to do like these, what do they call, self-gig related jobs and stuff. And when I say that, he's working from home. He's doing like the Etsy stuff. He's doing, you know, stuff for IT stuff. Call him IT Dan. He does, you know, computer repairs, all the stuff that he does on the side. He's trying to make ends meet. So a lot of you out there are doing these gig economy. I guess that's the word I'm saying. And a lot of people are now getting to the point where they're getting a little bold. They're getting a little, hey, I've been doing this for a year now. I've been doing this. And, you know, as a side job, people are now relying on this gig economy as a full-time job. And you have to understand that if you got that type of job, this is the decision that you made. Okay, so you're a secretary at a company, and the front office is closed down, so you can't answer phones anymore. So what do? Well, I got a car, and I'm capable. I'll drive around and pick up food like DoorDash or what I say, Food Drop, one of those. I'm gonna audio trademark that. This woman right here, I don't want to say she doesn't get it. She doesn't get it. This is it. She doesn't get it. And a DoorDash driver confronts a customer about giving her or leaving her an $8 tip. So here's the video. And if you want to see this video, go to prophetradio.com, click on Deacon Live, and you can see all this in real time. You ready?
I drove 40 minutes, and it was...
Hold on, huh?
I drove 40 minutes, and it was extremely far.
Driver man! You can leave it, thank you.
Oh, hold on.
Driver man!
All right, so the young lady, she had the food and dropped it off, and she's talking to a Ring camera. And whether the guy's inside the building or outside the building, who knows? She's talking to the Ring camera, and she has a problem with her tip. So she rings the doorbell.
You can leave it, thank you.
You can leave it. Thank you. We're good. We'll get it. She doesn't hear it. She's probably working up She's probably, you ever had those arguments inside your head before you have the argument? That's what she's doing. She's waiting.
How you believe it?
No, I could speak to you, actually.
She said, "I like to speak to you, actually," and then she's nodding her head yes. A little mental disableness there.
I'm sorry?
I need to speak to you. I don't think you realize where they're coming from, so I need to speak to you.
Where what's coming from?
Where the food you ordered is coming from. I don't think you realize the distance that it's come from, because then you would never actually have given what you gave.
So she's saying that you don't realize where this food was coming from, and it's middle of the day. I can see the sun's still up, probably 2, 3 o'clock. I can see some long shadows out there. Not that I'm an astronomer by any time.
So I think you can come and see face to face.
Hell no, I'm not going to I'm not talking face to face to you. That's why I asked you to leave it on the doorstep.
Because I drove 40 minutes, and it was extremely far, and I got it to you early. So I don't think you realize where you ordered from.
And everything she's saying, she's nodding her head like, yes, I'm right. I'm right. I'm right.
I'm not, I don't understand. You
Well,
took 4
I think
minutes from where?
from the restaurant that you ordered from. Do you realize how far it is? Do you realize you ordered from Colmac and you're in Smithtown?
That's a 15, 20-minute drive.
It's not. You need to try to drive it. I just drove it. It's 40 minutes. It's 12 and a half miles.
Okay, so she's saying it's 12 and a half miles, and it's a 40-minute drive. Okay, let's figure this out as normal, as rational human beings. So it's 15 minutes for a 12-mile drive. You know, you figure 60 miles an hour. Yes, it is a 15, 20-minute drive. But she's probably saying, I was, thinking I was stuck in traffic. There's a congestion, maybe an auto accident or something. And so she's saying, she's thinking about time. I spent 40 minutes in traffic trying to get you your food for something that was 15 minutes away.
So I don't think you realize how far it is.
So
But I
why did
think
you accept the pickup if you think it's that far?
they don't let us know how far. So
He said, well, why'd you take the pickup if you didn't know it was so far? And he's like, oh, and she's like, oh, I didn't know how far it was.
I think you need
Bullshit.
to adjust your tip to make it right.
How much?
So I think you need to adjust your tip to make it right.
How much is the tip?
You gave an $8 tip.
What the hell are you looking for?
Yeah, exactly. You gave an $8 tip. What the hell are you looking for?
I gave an $8.
Okay, I'm gonna bring the food back. Okay.
So she's like, that's it. I'm out of here. I'm going to take the food back. So this must have happened. She must have walked up there, dropped the food off, saw the $8 tip, and said, oh, no. I waited for 40 minutes. My time is worth more than $8 for 40 minutes, and now she's taking the food back. So here we go. Listen to this, because it's the guy on the Ring camera, and you can hear the girlfriend kind of chime in, too, of the guy who ordered the food.
Are you fucking kidding?
$8? That's a lot.
40 minutes it took her to get it?
Yeah, $8. That's a lot, because obviously she doesn't get the system. She doesn't understand how to work the system. When you go and get food, don't just get one. You don't drive to get one and then come back and drop it off. And then, now I've never done this, and then wait for the next one. No, you take 3 or 4 different orders and you drive around, you time them out. I've seen guys walk around, and I told you the guy at Burger King, he had a brand new 2019 Dodge Charger. Holy shit, that thing was fucking bad. Black with red stripes and white racing stripes, and that's all he did was DoorDash. And this big dude gets out of the car. I'm like going, what are you doing? He's like, oh, man, I'm DoorDash. I'm here to pick up. He had like 2 orders. And I saw on this thing, he had like a hot box, and he had 4 different orders in there. So he was timing his thing. He's not dumb. He's learning. This girl obviously doesn't know how to work the system. You gave me an $8 tip. It took 40 minutes to get here. Why didn't you grab some more, meals and stuff? All right, so there you go on that. All right, one more thing before I let you go. And I'll just touch on this real quick because this affects my life, if not you guys as well. Fayetteville, Arkansas is doing a new test for its Walmart. From now on, they will only have self-checkouts in their stores, no cashiers. This new experiment will see for them how it works better, and if it does, if all goes well, test is successful, then all Walmarts will do the same thing at the locations across the whole entire country. Now, they have not set a date for this, but they are getting ready. They're doing it in test markets. So some people wonder why the change, if it'll help the employees or just make things worse. So Walmart right now, we're already doing self-checkout. So I'd like to hear your opinion on that. So are you okay with Walmart doing the whole self-checkout across the board? Now, granted, you need someone to get cigarettes for you, but they have like one floater cashier for like 10 registers. If they stop up there chewing their gum and smacking their lips and paying attention to what's going around them, we wouldn't have these problems. Or we wouldn't have the issues that we have with self-checkout. That's the only thing that I have an issue with. So I want to hear your opinion. And the way you get your opinion to me, you can either email me at deacon@profitradio.com or go to profitradio.com, click on the Be Heard section, click on Be Heard, and let us know what you think. Send a voicemail right to my inbox, and we'll play it on the very next podcast. All right. On behalf of all you guys out there, thank you very much, everyone. My phone's been blowing up here from instant messages, direct messages, and personal texts and stuff. Thank you all very much for your birthday wishes. They are much appreciated. If you're on the Facebook page, give me a minute or two to get back to everyone out there. I will respond to every single birthday wish that was granted to me, just to show you how much I appreciate you guys and all my listeners out there as well. On behalf of you guys, thank you very much for downloading us, listening to us. My name is the Deacon saying good night and good night.
Wait, come back.
This is the absolute end.
Écoute-moi.
Happy birthday! Happy birthday! Bye, guys. Take care. Yeah.